Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I want to show you 5 different currency making strategies that you can do during the league start. So these are not gonna be the strategies that require you to be in like tier 14 maps, require full atlas completed, good gear on your character and so on. These are gonna be the strategies that you can do very early on. Some of them you can even do before you finish your campaign, and most of them are for around white maps, yellow maps. So these are the strategies that can help you to get to red maps and to start farming actual tier 14 strategies. So first strategy is going to be Heist. So I personally don't really like Heist, but I can still recognize that it is a very good strategy to make currency. And the good thing about Heist is that you can start doing it very early on, even during the campaign. I personally like to do it around level 60, and you can just progress Heist and ignore everything else in the game. Eventually you can do blueprints, like item level 80 plus, and you can make insane currency doing it. But it is still very good early on, and the way you do it is you just need a rogue markers and you enter rogue harbor. Then you go to Wakano and you can just start buying contracts from the vendor. So you can buy them for 1 chance orb, some of them are going for 1 alchemy, and you can just buy them and run them. And there are a few important things that you need to know about it. First one is to be able to get reveals for contracts. The contract needs to be at least item level 68, and you will need reveals later on if you want to do the blueprints. But there is also the exception to that rule, and that is if your character is within 3 levels of that contract. So if you are level 60, like I am here, item level 61 contract is still gonna give me a reveal. And Wakano will sell you contracts the level you are +1 and only up to level 67. So if you are level 68 plus, he will stop selling you your item level contract and you will no longer be able to get reveals from them. So this is why it is good early on, so you can use these contracts and still get the reveals. And the way you can basically run Heist infinitely, you just buy them, and if you level up during these contracts, then you will be able to buy another one, because he always resets every single time you level up. But also he resets every single time you level down, and to be able to level down you can use this vendor recipe. So you sell 1 wisdom, 1 scouring orb, and you get book of regression. You use it, and then the vendor is resetted and you can buy them again. And in terms of rewards, let me actually show you quickly just 1 contract.
Seems simple enough.
You just go in and you will be picking up all of the small chests and big ones. Also, you actually don't need to go to the end and take the end reward, which would make the contract much faster. But it's still a pretty good way to do these contracts, because you will need to level up your followers at the beginning, and also you again get the reveal for completing the contract. So as you can see here, I got 8 chromes. Here is the currency chest, so I'm gonna pick it up.
I can do it, but it won't be quick. We are
And as you can see, that's a pretty decent currency for beginning. 1 chaos. And when I was doing a few contracts earlier, I got like 10 C in total out of, I believe, like 4 contracts. So you can make a lot of currency, especially if you want to get your tabula early on. And again, you would take the reward, and then just go out. But you don't need to take it again. You only want to take it if you want to level up your followers and if you need rogue markers to be able to run the contract. Let me now skip it because it takes just too much time to do it. But now let's talk about the chaos recipe. So this is the reason why I am actually doing them item level 60 plus, because from level 60 plus you will be able to get items that you can use for chaos recipe. So, as you also could see, there was a lot of items in there for the chaos recipe. There was also a jewelry chest, which also gives you a lot of rings and amulets. And by the way, I would recommend for you to do chaos recipe in any currency making strategy. Chaos recipe is very good early on. And the way I am doing chaos recipe is with the chaos recipe enhancer tool. So this is a tool. You will need to put some information in, and there is a full guide for it in this website. I will link it in the description how you can set it up. But basically the way it works is you will have your stash, then you have your keybinds set up here. So I have F1, F2, F3. F1 is for showing this overlay, F2 is for refreshing, and F3 is for showing me the items I need to sell for chaos recipe. So I would need to pick this, and that's the set number 1, and now set number 2. Oh, I did run out of space. Okay, so now as you could see here, there was the number set 2, so I had 2 full sets of chaos recipe. But if I refresh it again, it will still show me that there is 2 sets, and this will still show me the same spots. The reason for that is the way program works is it needs to actually refresh your API, and to refresh it you need to change the zone. So you would go to some other zone and go back to your hideout, and then after you refresh it again, but you need to also wait some cooldown to be able to refresh it, and then it would actually show you that you have 0. Also for the amount of items here, after you reach this threshold that you can set here, it will no longer show you them on your loot filter. Now, talking about the loot filter, there are also settings for loot filter. Here you can show your loot filter location and then all of the colors for the items that you want. And then after you reach this threshold of items in your tab, and you refresh your loot filter, so you go to here and press this button, the loot filter will no longer show these certain items. So for example, let me go here. The chests will be this color, rings are yellow, and so on. And if I set my threshold to, let's say, 8, save settings, it says it's no longer showing the chests. So if I refresh my loot filter, it will disappear for my loot filter. So it can be helpful when you have too many of certain items. So I generally like to set it at around 13. Okay, so again, I am gonna link the full instruction how to do it and where you can download it and so on. But yeah, I would highly recommend to use this tool and just overall chaos recipe, even if you don't want to use this tool. And it also can sometimes be buggy during the beginning of the league, so you can still just do chaos recipe on your own. Okay, so second strategy is also gonna be very good with chaos recipe, and that is the Blighted Maps. So tier 1 Blighted Maps and tier 2, tier 3 are very cheap early on in the league, usually around 3 to 10 C, depending on the moment of the league. Let's say around day 1. And they drop a lot of jewelry and so on, and also just some normal currency, items and so on. So generally, profit from one Blighted map, counting the chaos recipe, can be 20c plus. So you can make a lot of currency through doing Blighted maps. And I actually made one video about it during the last beginning of the league. So I am gonna link this video in the description also if you want more details about the strategy. But the strategy is basically you go into Blighted map, run it, go out, sell your items with your chaos recipe, and do another one. The third strategy is actually gonna be on the Atlas, and this one is the essences. So in haewark hamlet, after you unlock 2 of your passives, so you would probably be around the yellow maps, you can take both of them and you can start running maps with the essence mod on map device, which is gonna guarantee 3 essences in the map, and also add another one, and all of the essences are gonna be 1 tier higher. And corrupting them with Remnant of Corruption can't release them, which means basically have more chances that the essences will be upgraded. And I would recommend using Remnants of Corruption on purple essences, because they can upgrade the essence to the corrupted version of essences. So Essence of Horror, Insanity, Delirium and Hysteria. So this strategy you can probably start doing around the yellow maps, and I also did test it I believe 2 leagues ago with my very bad level 70 character in tier 6 maps, and I was making few hundred chaos per hour. I believe it was like 200 chaos per hour. So it can be very, very good. And again, you don't need to do it in red maps, you can start doing it around the yellow ones. The next one, which is going to be a bit easier but also require some Atlas competition, this one is going to be in Lyra Artane, and that one is invasion bosses. So I personally haven't really done it and I don't really like it, but from what I've heard it is very good, because invasion bosses have a good chance to drop 6 links, stacks of currency and so on, and these are basically free. So again, you can take these 2 passives probably around the yellow maps and you just enter map, kill invasion boss, which is guaranteed, so you don't need to use any scarabs, you don't need to put anything on the map device, and you just kill invasion boss, kill the map boss, clear map a little bit, and then go out and repeat. And you can sell the 6 links. The next one is gonna be probably the least profitable, but it is a very chill strategy, and this one is Harbingers. So it's similar to Invasion, you just take 2 nodes and you just round them up, kill Harbinger, go out. This strategy scales very well if you can use some Watchstones that improve the Harbinger drops, but they are not really super required. So if you are struggling on maps, you can just have some Valdos Rest maps and run this zone with Harbinger and the Lyra Artane with Invasion. So these are all of the 5 strategies. Now I want to also quickly mention which strategies you would probably go to later when you actually have some currency. I don't want to talk too much about them, but I just want to quickly mention them. So first one would probably be Simulacrum. And think about Simulacrum is you need to remember you don't actually need to do like full wave 20 or the new 30 to actually make profit. Most of the time during the beginning of the league you only need to do like 15, maybe 17 waves, and you are still gonna make profit from Simulacrum just from the drops, and especially if you're gonna be leveling gems. Second one is logbooks. So this is a new one, so we're not really gonna know until the beginning of the league how actually good it is gonna be, because we don't know what the prices of logbooks are gonna be and the profit. But if you are gonna be doing Dunning and Tuyen artifacts, this strategy should be pretty good, because the artifacts are not gonna be tradable, but from these 2 merchants you can still basically just buy currency from the vendor, so you can still basically just make currency from the logbooks thanks to them. The other 2, so Gwenen and Rogue, are probably not gonna be that great for the logbooks. Next one is Breach. So this is probably gonna be the most popular strategies in tier 14. So you need to reach tier 14 maps, and then you just use Breach Scarabs and Breach on map device, and you farm Lear Artane with these nodes. Next one is Bossing. So pretty simple. You just have a really good character with good damage, and you just farm Shapers, Elders, Invitations, and so on. And next one is the Blight, and here I'm talking about both Blight in Valdos Rest to just farm tier 14 maps plus and sell Blighted Maps, or you can still just run red Blighted Maps yourself, or even new Ravage Blighted Maps. And the last one is Bestiary. So Bestiary is actually looking pretty nice in Lear Artane, with combined passives from Lear Artane and Old Tier's End. Now they are together, so it should be a pretty nice currency. But you should do them in red maps, because there are some beasts that can't show up in the early tier maps. So that's all of them. If you would ask me which strategies I am gonna go for, that's gonna be my next video, which is gonna be my plans for the League Start. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.